Every year, one of North America's rarest birds embarks on an epic migration up to 2,500 miles between its breeding grounds in Canada, its remote marshes, and its wintering areas along the Texas coast. But how do these birds know where to go? And how do they survive the journey? Hi, and welcome to this channel. Today, we are going to follow the incredible journey of the whooping crane on its annual migration from Canada to Texas. Whooping cranes are large, beautiful birds with a wingspan of up to 6 feet and a distinctive loud call that can be heard for miles across the prairie. These birds typically weigh between 8 and 13 pounds, making them slightly heavier than sandhill cranes. Whooping cranes have a white face and neck, a gray back and wings, and a rusty red crown. They also have long legs and a distinctive upward curve at the end of their bills. These birds are found in the marshes and shallow lakes of the Great Lakes region and the prairie potholes of the Midwestern United States during the breeding season. But in the winter, they can be found in the southernmost states of the U.S. and Mexico. Although once widespread across the continent, today's population is restricted to a small area in the extreme southeast. Whooping cranes are listed as near threatened by the International Union for Conservation of Nature due to their small population size and the threats they face from habitat loss and hunting. In fact, these birds were once nearly driven to extinction by overhunting and habitat destruction. But thanks to conservation efforts, their numbers have slowly begun to recover. Today, there are an estimated 500 to 700 whooping cranes in existence, with about half of those birds spending their summers in Canada and the other half in the US. The birds that breed in Canada typically travel to Texas for the winter, while those that breed in the US head to Florida or Louisiana. Whooping cranes typically arrive on the Gulf Coast of Texas in the mid-October, having flown up to 60 miles per hour and up to 250 miles per day for weeks on end. Once they reach their destination, they spend their days looking for food in the shallow water and marshes. Their diet consists mainly of aquatic invertebrates, such as clams, mussels, and crayfish. They also eat fish, frogs, and snakes. When it's time to fly again, whooping cranes typically depart Texas in March or April, heading north towards their breeding grounds. The journey is just as arduous as the one to Texas, and the birds must fly up to 60 miles per hour for days on end. But unlike most birds, whooping cranes don't make the journey alone. They travel in groups of up to 50 birds, which helps to protect them from predators such as wolves and bears. The cranes also take turns leading the way, flying in the front of the group and taking rest breaks together. But how do these birds know where to go? Like most migratory birds, whooping cranes use the sun, stars, and landmarks to navigate. They also use a magnetic compass in their brains to help them stay on course. When the birds are ready to stop for the night, they look for a suitable roosting site, such as a marsh or swampy area with plenty of trees. They typically roost with other cranes, which provides them with additional protection from predators. Now let's talk about the threats that whooping cranes face during their migration. One of the biggest dangers is flying into buildings or power lines, especially at night when cranes can't see very well. Collisions with vehicles are also a problem, as are attacks from predators such as coyotes and alligators. Habitat loss due to development and agriculture also poses a threat to whooping cranes. Luckily, there are organizations working to protect whooping cranes and their habitat. By providing additional roosting sites, reducing threats such as collisions with power lines, and educating people about the importance of conserving crane habitat, we can help ensure that these magnificent birds continue to grace our skies for generations to come. So the next time you're out walking in the woods or hiking in the mountains, keep an eye out for these magnificent creatures. You never know when you might get lucky enough to see one soaring overhead. Thanks for watching. See you next time.